Hi friends, we are going to move our bodies again today. My theme for today's practice physically in the body is forward folding. So we'll be working through quite a few poses that will open up the back line of your body. So lower back, hips, glutes, hamstrings, and with this practice, so physically we'll open up the back line of the body, but energetically, emotionally, even spiritually today in the practice, I invite you to start to kind of surrender into the moment. So with forward folds, we have this ability to block out some of the distractions around us in our space, in our day, in our life. And I think with the ability to close off some of the physical distractions, the tangible distractions, we're able to also create that energetically in the body. So today, see if you can use your forward folds, these forward bends in the practice to create a sense of surrender, a sense of letting go, and see what opens up for you in terms of introspection and checking in with energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually you are doing today. Okay, so that's a lot of talk. Hopefully that made sense. We'll start together in a child's pose. Big toes meet near the back of the mat, knees out nice and wide, and walk your hands towards the top of your space. First opportunity here to surrender into the moment you've landed in. With your forehead on the mat or your block, bolster, blanket, if you're using props. Can you feel a sense of grounding as you know that you're supported from the earth below and that you have or that you're held in some safe space wherever you are practicing today. Check in with how you feel physically. Notice the flow of your breath. And maybe you start to create an intention for your movement today, whether that is allowing yourself to surrender into each moment, each pose, and start to tune into how you're feeling in those deeper layers of being. You're welcome to stay here for a few more rounds of breath, or slowly root into your palms. Lift your hips to stack up over your knees. Draw your knees into hip distance. Extended puppy or melting heart, if that's a more familiar name, as you lower your forehead, maybe your chin onto the mat. Invite a bit more sensation into the shoulders as you breathe lightness into the chest. And whether you're in child's pose or melting heart, can you acknowledge the sensation of gazing inward? So your eyes might be closed to assist you in shutting off from the distractions around you. You may start to acknowledge what it feels like to hold your head above your heart, an inversion shape with the body, and how that may change sensation, the flow of energy. A couple more rounds of breath where you are. We'll meet in a tabletop position. Move with ease from whatever shape you're traveling from. Bring your hands into stack below your shoulders. Spread your fingertips wide. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, down dog right away here. So again, another opportunity to let the head hang below the heart. Notice the length we invite along the spine and down through the back of the legs as you create this inverted V shape with your body. Down dog tends to be the starting point of acknowledging stress in the upper body. So can you let your head hang heavy as your gaze moves towards the space behind you? Broaden across your back body, the sense of hollowing out the armpits to create a bit of extra space for the shoulder blades. And you might still be here with eyes closed as you surrender into the variation of this shape you've landed in. Next, inhale, come high on your tippy toes, look to the top of your mat and walk your feet all the way forward to land in a forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart, bend your knees as much as you need to. Use an inhale to lengthen your spine. This first movement with breath allows you to create a bit of ease in the body. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, breath, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fully surrender, forward fold. You're welcome to take your feet out slightly wider than hip distance. Reach for opposite elbows and allow your upper body to hang heavy. Remember, you can keep the bend in your knees as much as you need to. This first standing forward fold may feel like a lot on the lower back or the hamstrings. So you're welcome to bring your elbows to rest on your thighs as a variation. Let your head hang heavy. You are always welcome to move in these shapes. We're never completely still. The breath always creates a subtle wave of movement. So maybe you can shake off that expectation you have for your practice where you need to be still. And you'll feel it in your body when you've been able to move, shift, adjust. Physical strain in the body, resistance, tension starts to melt away, making it easier then to settle into stillness. 2 more breaths. You slowly release the arm variation you have after that last breath. Take an inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. Move really slowly. We've had the head below the heart for the last few breaths, so move with ease. Exhale, hands meet at heart center. Inhale, breath from the top of your mat. Reach your arms up and over. Inhale, breath. Exhale, slow hinge, forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, tent your fingertips. Step your left foot towards the back of your mat to a lunge. Lower your left knee right away. Plant the top of your left foot flat and reach your arms up overhead for a low lunge. We're not here for long, just an opportunity to check in with the hips. You feel that energetic shift as you hold your head above your heart. Catch your breath and come into your body. As you exhale, can you lower your hands down to the mat? Slide your hips to the back of your space. There's a half split. Again, another variation of forward fold. Walk your hands towards your body so that your wrists below shoulders create a bit of lift for the upper body. Soft bend in your right knee as much as you need to. It is early in the practice. The hamstring may be resisting a bit more than it typically would. With your breath, let's invite length along the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, allow your torso to fold over your right leg. Inhale, breath, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Take one more like that. Inhale, breath, lengthen. Surrender, forward fold. Let your gaze fall to your shin, your knee. Soften the muscles along your back body. Inhale, slowly come forward. Right foot will meet your mat. Let's take the arms overhead, but move with ease. Stack your head above your heart. And exhale, hands come down to the mat, downward dog. Press into your palms, right foot steps back, lift your hips to the sky. Pedal your knees, sway your hips. And when the body is ready to settle into stillness. Right leg will lift up and back behind you. Bend your right knee and stack your hip. Root through both palms. Lift your right knee high to the sky. This will hopefully create a bit of openness in the hips. Slowly rise high onto your left toes, look forward. Right foot will land at the top of your mat once again. Tent your fingertips, step your left foot forward, and land your back foot at a slight angle in. Toes move towards the left side of your space, but you're anchored into the pinky toe edge of both feet. Pyramid pose, inhale breath, you lengthen along your spine, feel your core activate. As you exhale, allow your upper body to fold forward over your right leg. As you move through this, inhale to lengthen, exhale to surrender. Draw your left hip slightly forward, right hip back, and you may start to feel a bit more sensation in the outer line of your right leg. Continue to decompress into your spine. Inhale, lengthen, exhale to fold. Let's take one more breath. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Walk your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Pivot onto your left toes. Bend your right knee to transition, standing split. Shift your weight into your right foot. Kick your left heel to the sky and allow your upper body to fold. Now you can stay in more of an L stand, keeping the chest slightly lifted if this starts to feel overwhelming in your body. Or you begin to move into surrender as you walk your hands towards your right foot. Keep kicking your left heel towards the ceiling and let your gaze fall towards your shin, your knee, or the space behind you. You can work with gravity, bone stacking to keep that tight grip, hands to right foot as your torso will fold forward. Keep a soft bend in your knees as much as you need to support the opening in the back of your leg without causing strain or too much pull. Stay for your inhale, use your core, use your glutes to support your back body. Exhale, forward fold. Feet are out hip distance. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Move with ease as we transition from the fold. Exhale, half forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. Again, move really slowly, press through your feet, reach your arms up. Squeeze your glutes, use your core. And exhale, hands meet at heart center. We'll pause here for a few moments before moving to the other side. Give your shoulders a big roll down and back. Inhale, reach your arms up and over for a big full body stretch. Reach for your left wrist. Reach up and over, hinge to the right. So we'll create a bit of length along the side bodies. Keep your chest lifted, your eyes open. Inhale, come back up through center. See what this feels like on the other side. Slow hinge over to the left. Left hand has a soft grip on your right wrist to slowly guide your upper body up and over to the left. Inhale, come back up through center. This will be a gentle counter move with ease. Open your arms up to a cactus shape, chest is open. So important to squeeze your glutes as you inhale, lift your chest, your chin, your gaze to a gentle back bend. Okay, focus less on how far back your body can go and more about creating a sense of openness before we move back into our forward folds. Inhale, breath, root through your feet, lift your arms up and over, big stretch, slower than you want to move, bend your knees a lot and hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, tent your fingertips on the mat. This time your right foot takes a big step back. Wide stance for your lunge. Lower your right knee, top of your foot. And inhale, reach your arms up and over. Inhale, breath. Hold a deep bend in your left knee. Core is on, glutes are on. This is a great opportunity when our gaze is upright to coordinate the body to be supported in a fold. So the glutes are always working, the core is always working to avoid dumping or collapsing into the back body. Okay, inhale, breath, lift up. As you exhale, hands meet your mat. Slide your right knee back to create extra space as you shift your hips back, extend your left leg long. Walk your fingertips back, wrist stack in below shoulders. Bend your left knee as much as you need to. And energetically, there's a draw of your left hip back and your right hip forward. Okay, inhale, find your breath to lengthen your spine. Exhale, surrender as you fold forward. Inhale, breath, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. One more time as you explore in this shape. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fully surrender, forward fold. Keep that stabilization of your spine, so core on. Walk your hands towards the top of your mat. Press into, actually let's reach the arms up overhead. Okay, just to reset, lift your chest, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, plant your hands, tuck your right toes, downward facing dog. Left foot meets the mat, pedal your knees, sway your hips, reset, and maybe you can land in stillness. Left leg will kick up and back behind you, bend your knees, stack your hip. Just because this feels like a nice sensation for the hip as you open up, still holding a forward fold, gaze towards the back of your space. Now root into both palms, come high onto your right toes, look forward, left foot lands at the top of your mat once again. Step your right foot in so you lower your right heel, toes turn slightly out to the top right corner of your mat. Pyramid pose. Tent your fingertips, use an inhale breath, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale breath, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. You're here with your breath to create the space and surrender in. Hey, these movements may start to become a little more subtle. Keep drawing your left hip slightly back, right hip slightly forward. Create that length through the outer line of your left leg as you surrender your torso to fold. Okay, next time you inhale, create the length along your spine. Turn onto your right toes as you walk your hands towards the top of your mat. Bend your left knee to release the tension in the back of your leg. Standing split, shift all the way onto your left foot as you kick your right heel towards the ceiling. You're welcome to stay in more of an L stand if that's the supportive shape for your body in this moment. Or walk your hands towards your left foot as you continue to lift your left or right heel towards the ceiling. Torso slowly begins to surrender over your left leg. Send your gaze to your knee, your shin, or the wall or space behind you. Keep lifting up through your right heel. Again, it's early on in the practice and your movement. You might have a bit more space to either bind one hand at a time around your left ankle, or you may need to walk your hands forward. Listen to your body. Stay for an inhale breath. As you exhale, slowly lower right foot to the mat. Bend your knees a lot. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Slower than you want to move, rise up to stand. You're moving from a deep forward fold to stack your head above your heart. Move slowly. Okay, hands meet at heart center. Take an inhale breath for yourself, sigh out through your mouth, let that go. And let's take our standing side bend, gentle back bend for a second time. Inhale, arms reach up and over. Let's start to the left this time. Find your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale to lengthen, slow hinge over to the left. Squeeze your glutes, use your core, especially if there's sensation in your back body. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. Inhale, come back up through center, slow hinge over to the left or the right. Here you reach up and over, hips move to the left, fingertips move to the right. Inhale, come back up through center. Anchor through both feet, open your arms to cactus. Again, we are not necessarily focusing on depth. It's more of that integration to bring balance back into the body. As we take a small back bend, press into your feet, thighs, hips, stomach move forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. You may squeeze your shoulder blades in towards one another as you keep that space open across the front line of your body. Next inhale, come back up through center, find your gaze. Exhale, bend your knees a lot. Move slower than you think you should. Forward fold. Hold here in your forward fold. You're welcome to take a halfway lift if there's anything feeling tight. And then this time, take your peace fingers around your big toes. So your peace fingers, your thumb around your big toes. Feet are hip distance or slightly wider. Use an inhale to lengthen along your spine. And as you exhale, there's a soft grip on the big toes as you open up your elbows to either side of your space and gently guide your torso to fold over your thighs. Again, subtle movement and shift with breath as you inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, breath, lengthen, slowly guide yourself to a fold. Continue with a few more rounds of breath like that. As you shift more weight into the ball of each foot, tilt your sit bones towards the ceiling. And watch as you slowly surrender in. You slowly release the grip you have on your big toes. Use another inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, bend your knees a lot. Step your left foot towards the back of your mat. You're in a lunge again. Slow lower left knee to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up and over. Use your core, use your glutes. Inhale, breath. This is movement we've done before. Exhale, hands to your mat. Slide your hips to the back of your space, forward fold. Okay, right away, inhale, breath, shift forward, come onto your fingertips, tuck your left toes. Different this time, right away, lift your hips up and back. You can step your left foot in to land in your pyramid shape. Walk your fingertips back for support. Inhale, lengthen along your spine, and exhale, forward fold. Okay, inviting in a different pose this time. Inhale, breath, lengthen your spine. Walk your hands to the long edge of your mat, left side. We land in a standing wide leg forward fold. Take your time to set yourself up so that you are stable in your foundation and you're inviting sensation to the body. So you can widen your stance, shorten your stance, take what you need. Use an inhale breath to lengthen. Exhale, slowly forward fold down your midline. Toes point forward or they can turn slightly in, heels out. Just be mindful of any sensation in your hips and your low back. With your hands on the mat, you might walk them out to meet your calf, ankle, pinky toe edge of your foot or wrap the heel. For some of you, it might feel good to walk your hands between your legs towards the space behind you, a gentle drawing of your torso forward. And you're here for the next 5 or so breaths as you surrender in. Check in with how it feels to let your head hang below your heart. Can you feel the decompression of your spine as space opens up between each vertebrae? If the sensation in the back of your leg starts to become a bit overwhelming, what would it feel like to soften more into your knees? Take 2 more rounds of breath. And on your next inhale, slowly walk your hands out in front of you towards your left side, and then all the way towards the top of your mat. Pivot on your left toes so you're in your lunge shape. Plant your hands flat, 3-leg down dog right away. Kick your right leg up and back behind you. Standing split at the back of your mat this time, bend your left knee a lot. Tent your fingertips as you slowly walk your hands back to meet your left foot. Head hangs heavy. Lengthen up through your chest. Exhale to fold as you slowly begin to kick your right heel up towards the ceiling. Again, the goal here is not necessarily how high you can kick your right leg, but inviting surrender into the upper body. Your gaze moves towards the space behind you. Shake your head a couple times, no, yes, and you explore your own edge from there. Stay for an inhale breath. Stay for your exhale. As you inhale, slowly reach your hands out in front of you. Walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. Right foot meets your mat. Up. Slowly lower your knees down to your mat. Untuck your toes and hips sit back to your heels as you walk your torso to stack up over your hips. If it's comfortable, close down your eyes, give your shoulders a couple big circular movements. As you catch your breath, settle with your head above your heart. And maybe you use this as an opportunity to reset, to check back in. Downward facing dog, root through your palms, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. From down dog, come high on your tiptoes, look to the top of your mat, walk or float all the way forward. Use an inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees a lot, right foot steps back, land in your lunge. Lower your right knee, top of your foot, inhale, arms sweep up and over, inhale, breath. Okay, these first few poses we've done before on this side. Exhale, hands to your mat, hips press back, half split, your hamstring stretch. Walk your hands towards you, inhale to lengthen, exhale, forward fold. Slowly walk your hands forward once again, left foot meets the mat, tuck your right toes, pyramid pose, lift your hips up and back. You can hop or step your right foot in to find a comfortable stance. Your foundation is stable. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, breath to lengthen. As you exhale, walk your hands to the right side of your space. Okay, second set, wide leg forward fold. I'll turn to face you here. Toes point towards the right long edge of your mat. Heels can turn out slightly if that's okay on your hips, your low back. And then this time use an inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, fold forward and bring your hands in behind you, interlace your grip. See if you can press the heel of each hand together. Inhale to lengthen through your spine again. And as you exhale, fold forward, allow the interlace grip to fall overhead as well. So we use this forward fold to also open up some space across the chest. So that balance of surrender, but also openness as we invite in new space. Again, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. You can widen out your stance or shorten it as much as you need to be stable in your foundation. And allow your upper body to surrender into the fold. Shake out any tension in the back of your neck. Continue to soften the space in your shoulders as you allow your interlace grip to fall overhead. A soft bend in the elbow if that feels more supportive in your body. You'll just turn back, stay where you are for a couple more rounds of breath. And without a slingshot release, can you soften your hands to the mat? Fingertips out in front of you, inhale, breath. And exhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat, left toes to point forward, pivot high onto your right toes. Press into your palms, 3-leg dog. Left leg will kick up and back behind you. You can bend your knees, stack your hip. Let this feel good for the hip joint. Then eventually straighten out your left leg, standing split at the back of your mat. Walk your hands towards your right foot as you keep your left heel lifted and your upper body
surrenders forward. Okay. Remember, you can be more of an L shape stand with your body, or explore the space that opens up for you in your standing split. Wherever you are, can you invite a sense of letting go, of surrendering to your upper body as you let your head hang heavy? Each exhale breath, move into the new space opening up within you. Your inhale breath, walk your fingertips out in front, walk yourself forward, downward facing dog, left foot meets the mat. Feel ease sink into your body, lower your knees, hips to your heels. Move slower than you want to. Hips slowly press back. Stack your shoulders, your head up over your hips. Let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. 2 more inhale breath. You might bring your shoulders into this flow. Exhale, through your mouth. Shoulders roll down and back. 1 more time, inhale breath. And exhale. Okay. Linger for as long as you need to in this shape. If you're moving on with me here, roll over your right or left side to swing your legs out in front of you. And I will turn to face you for these next few movements. You're welcome to stay facing the front edge of your mat though. So seated, rooted, anchored through the sit bones. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. Seated forward fold to start. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, slow hinge forward as your upper body folds over your legs. And before we settle into hold any of these next few forward folds, let's invite some breath movement, connection to release any tension you might still be hanging on to in your lower back and along your spine. As you inhale, can you rise all the way up, stack your shoulders over your hips, and take your legs out wide to a straddle. Still rooted through the sit bones, toes flex up towards the ceiling, bend your knees as much as you need to, of course, okay? And as you exhale, slow hinge forward over the midline in your straddle shape. Okay, we're just exploring, being curious for these first few rounds. Lift and lengthen, and exhale guides you to a fold. Inhale, breath, slowly come back up through center, arms overhead. Bound angle, bring the soles of your feet to meet, knees open up to either side of your space. And exhale, slow hinge over your feet. Your hands can meet your shins, your ankles, the arch of your feet, your toes, as you allow your upper body to fold. Flow with breath. Inhale brings you up through center. Extend your legs long out in front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up through center. Straddle your legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up through center, bound angle shape. Exhale, forward fold. So we're here for a few rounds of breath, moving in and out of these 3 variations of fold. Legs out in front, legs to straddle, and bound angle. Really important as you move through these 3 poses that you call upon your core strength to support you in the transition. So you'll feel maybe the weight of your legs as you move in and out of the poses. But as you fire up through your core, maybe even shift your weight back slightly, you're able to create a bit more of a fluid, feel-good transition in your body. Once you have some comfortability in these transitions, can you close down your eyes, tune inward, surrender inward as you flow through? You're here for the next 10 or so breaths. So take it all in and allow yourself this opportunity to move and flow fully in your body. I invite you, when you have finished this movement through, to choose one of the 3 variations of fold that your body wishes to linger in for a little bit longer. And eventually we'll all meet in one of those poses to hold for a few rounds of breath. And as you land in what may feel like stillness, can you tune into the rhythm of your breathing and the subtle shifts, changes in your body as you hold the shape that you've landed in? The inhales invite space and length. The exhale guides you to surrender, to let go, to move into that new space created. Take in a few more rounds of breath. When you're ready, slowly press into your hands, rise up. Whatever shape you're in, you might use your hands for support as you draw your legs back through center. Facing the top of your mat, extend your legs long down the length of your mat and lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Bring your feet flat to the mat, knees point up towards the ceiling. Rock your hips from side to side. Invite a gentle release into the lower back, your hips, your glutes. And with your arms rested alongside your body, invite a neutralizing position back into your spine. After all of those forward bends, can you give yourself a few moments of breath to balance back out? Eventually meet with your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug and big squeeze. You can rock your knees, your hips from side to side. Send your legs and your arms up overhead like you're a beetle flipped onto its back. Anchor down through your entire spine. Anchor down through the back of your head. And invite a gentle release into your limbs. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Notice the difference you feel now in your body after having the head below the heart, but now the limbs above the heart. Take a few more rounds of breath as you take that load off the legs, the arms, the feet, the palms. Slowly lower your feet down to the mat, heels land below knees, arms alongside your body. And to invite some gentle integration of forward bends, bridge flow with your breath. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, squeeze into your quads, your glutes. Exhale, slow, lower hips to the mat. Again, inhale, breath, root through your feet, lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, lengthen through the front line of your body. Opening back up, and as you exhale, slow, lower. 3 more with your breath. Inhale, root down to lift up. Exhale, slow, lower. 2 more. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, slow, lower. 1 more time, we'll pause at the top, hold, root through your feet, lift your hips. You may roll your shoulders underneath your back. Open the space across your chest as you lift your hips up a little bit further. 1 more inhale, breath. And exhale, lower all the way back down. Bound angle, soles of your feet together, knees open up, left hand to heart, right hand to belly. And as we come out of the practice, the forward fold of being able to surrender inward, can you notice a shift in self as even as you lay here more open through the hips, the heart, the gaze, the face? Are you able to find that sense of surrender inward, while being open to whatever else may come your way? Finding the balance, the sense of ease as we open back up with this maybe new perspective of surrendering into what we already have. Feel the flow of your breath, the movement of energy within. And can you sink into the next few moments of rest? You're welcome to extend your legs long, arms open wide for your final rest in Shavasana. If bound angle feels like a comfortable place to be for the next few minutes, you're welcome to stay right there. Close down your eyes and sink in. I invite you to stay here and rest for as long as you need to today, for as long as you can. Soak in these final few moments of surrender. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for tuning in, moving inward. Send out a silent thank you to the community around you, supporting you through energy, breath. We are moving and breathing together. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through practice today. From my heart to yours, with so much gratitude. Namaste. Thank you guys for sharing your practice with me today. I would love to hear from you. Let me know how that felt in your body. I look forward to sharing practice with you again tomorrow. Have a beautiful day or evening ahead. Thank you.